Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Little River Medical Center. Good morning and thanks for joining us today again on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm at Little River Medical Center and I'm joined by Dr. McGinley. How are you, Dr. McGinley?
I'm doing wonderful. I hope you are.
I am too. We've got a big topic on the board today. We're talking about breast cancer awareness. It's the month of October. Tell me, what are some stats that we're seeing right now with breast cancer?
Well, we know that breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer that we see in women and the second leading cause of cancer death in women. So we know that over a lifetime, 1 in 8 will be diagnosed with breast cancer, so very common.
We were just talking about how it's very preventable if you're able to screen as early as possible.
Right, so not exactly preventable, but detecting very early.
Yes. Important to note.
Important to note, yes. So if the earlier we can detect it, the better we can treat it and the better survival rates.
So in your line of work, what do you do on a daily basis when it comes to scanning and treating people?
So I always make sure, starting at age 40 and up, per the guidelines, that we remind our patients to screen for breast cancer. I'm very lucky in that I have a mammogram machine right in our hallway here. So when somebody's reluctant, I can make them feel more comfortable and say, let me just lead you down to get it.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is a pretty new technology that you guys have. It's 3D mammography, right?
That's correct. So the idea of 3D means it's digital and you're going to have many more images. That allows the radiologist to more easily see it and see it early, a cancer that's coming. 50% of women have denser breast tissue. That makes it a little more difficult to see. So having the digital film, we can see that much easier.
And this can be more comfortable as well.
It can be. So there is certainly going to be some compression involved. If you know you're more sensitive to having compression, we recommend taking Tylenol or ibuprofen about an hour before. The other thing is planning it, maybe scheduling it maybe not the week of or the week before your menstrual cycle. That's when the breast tends to be more sensitive.
Okay, those are really good tips. I was going to say, those are things that you wouldn't necessarily think about.
And most females have no problems at all tolerating it that way.
All right. To break it down for somebody that might not know, describe the whole process to get a 3D mammogram.
So here at Little River Medical Center, all you have to do is call and make an appointment or come on in and schedule an appointment, and we can usually do it right on the spot or schedule it to when you like. But when you come for your appointment, we have a very wonderful radiology team here. They're going to make you feel very warm and kind. We have a separate changing room, and then yes, this is the equipment that'll be utilized, and it takes maybe 10-15 minutes the most.
Why do you think it's so important for us to talk about this kind of stuff, especially in the month of October, but in every month?
It all breaks down to saving lives. The sooner we can get you screened, the sooner we can find a cancer, the earlier treatment we can get, your better chance of surviving.
The typical screening age for breast cancer is 40, but what if you have a family member who had breast cancer?
Oh, great point. So we start at age 40 for those at average risk, but those who have a family history, screening will definitely start earlier, and a lot of times it depends on the age that your family member was diagnosed. So for example, if your mother was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 35, we would start you at age 25.
Access to 3D mammography is a service available exclusively to patients of Little River Medical Center and is offered at their Little River and Carolina Forest locations. To become a patient of LRMC, you can call 843-663-8000 and dial 1 to speak to a representative. This story is sponsored by Little River Medical Center.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, we're having a beautiful day today on Living Local Carolina. I'm joined by Kim in the studio, and you are from Be Empowered. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Okay, tell me all about what you guys do.
So Be Empowered Worldwide is an organization created to help girls and women walk in emotional wellness. And we do this in 3 ways. We offer education products, wellness products, and advocacy.
Where did you see that there was a need for an organization like this?
So the organization started about 12 years ago. I owned a child care facility.
Oh, cool.
And the mothers normally were the single mothers, because we had a lot of underprivileged children or children who were socioeconomically challenged. I don't know how to be politically correct there, but and we found that they needed more than just child care. They sometimes needed someone to help them to speak up for things that weren't right, maybe in their housing, or to help them work through problems with getting the resources that they needed. So that's where it started.
Filling in those gaps.
Filling in the gaps.
How does that feel, being able to do that and actually watch these young ladies thrive?
So when I look back now and see the students and families that I was taking care of 15 years ago, and see that they're graduating from college and they're walking into great careers, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, I bet. Well, how can our viewers get involved and help you guys with your mission?
So Be Empowered Worldwide.com. They can
right.
always go there. We have a GoFundMe page, so they can go there. Right now we're working on collecting or taking in donations to help us with our literacy program for the summer.
Okay, cool.
So that's our greatest need right now. So the GoFundMe page is all for that purpose. And what we'll do is we'll take the money, we'll buy books, hoping to give each girl a set of 10 books so that they can have a book a week to read over the summer.
Gotcha.
And then we'll have online tutoring and conversation about the books that they read.
All right, lovely.
Yeah.
What's that website again so people can remember it?
www.beempoweredworldwide.com.
I am so excited to be in the kitchen today with David Peterson from Peterson's world famous hot dogs and sausage dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
All
Glad
right.
to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here. You've got a nicely dressed hot dog here.
Thank you so
And then we
much.
have one that does not have all the fixins quite yet. But while you're fixing this up, why don't you tell me a little bit about why you started this business and how you got to where you are today?
Well, the reason why I started this business because my grandmother, she actually ran a hot dog stand in New York City.
Really?
Yes, and she had people line up all around the block. So I decided, why not start a hot dog stand in South Carolina?
Yeah.
So when I graduated school, my parents, they invested into a hot dog cart, and I got all the licensing, the permits, and everything that you have to do when you start a food business, and it was all up from there. And then I just kept going with it.
All right, so how often are you at your hot dog cart and where can people find it?
Well, we there for at least about 6 days a week. We pretty much take Sundays off, but we set up Sundays sometime. But they can find us on Irby Street, right at by the Planet Fitness, and the tobacco market is where we set up at, right on the grass platform. That's where we set up at. So you can find us there 6 days a week.
All right, well, why don't you go ahead and tell me
Alrighty.
what you're going to be putting on here.
All right, first we're gonna put some of this world famous hot dog chili, and this is the best chili that you'll ever taste ever in your life. So we're gonna start out with that. We're gonna put the chili on that hot dog. You gotta put the bedding on it. This is the bedding for the hot dog.
What do you say to people that just want a plain hot dog?
Just want a plain hot dog? I say you just want a plain hot dog. You don't want something that's good
Yeah,
on world
that's
famous
what
chili?
I'm thinking.
Come on now.
You got to dress it up.
Then you're gonna put this ketchup. Got to have
Love
that ketchup.
it.
Got to have
Ketchup,
it.
mustard.
Then you're gonna put mustard. Some people just like a line. Let's do a little line of mustard.
Yeah.
All right. Then you got to have them onions. Sometimes when I ask people, they say, "Do you want an onion?" They're like, "Yeah, I want some onion." I'm like, "Okay, relax, calm down, calm down. We're gonna put some onions on there for you."
Perfect.
So you got to have onions. Got to put the onions on,
Beautiful.
and that's how you make a perfect hot dog.
As simple as that.
Simple as that. Simple as that. and
All
it tastes
right.
delicious. The flavor is out of this world.
I love it.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I am at ESA Fitness Club with Terrence. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I have some questions for you.
All right, I'm ready to answer.
First question, what does ESA stand for?
ESA stands for Enhanced Speed and Agility.
Okay.
Yeah, so most people come to me to get faster, to get more agile, to have more mobility, and more explosiveness. So
Love
yeah.
that. Well, give me a little bit about your background. How did you get into this?
I got into it after I was training for the NFL, and I had a trainer in college. And then I went up to Maryland after I played in the All-Star game my senior year, and I trained with Vernon Davis trainer, and it kind of opened my eyes to a lot more different style of training than what I was getting in college.
Interesting.
And then I was in the CFL in rookie camp with the Montreal Alouettes, and got cut from there, came back home, and started coaching and started training some kids. I put a speed and agility clinic on, got it sponsored, had about 40 kids come out. It was amazing.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I like it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I just opened a facility with about 4 or 5 clients, $1,000 in a 1,000 square foot facility. And that
here
was
we
12
are.
years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm here.
Now we're here, and what is this location? It's pretty prime, man, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's so this is downtown redevelopment zone, okay? Right, smack dead in the middle of downtown Myrtle Beach is
Yeah.
515 9th Avenue North, and I've been in this building for about a year.
Okay.
So I decided to come down here, one, to be a part of the community, be a part of the redevelopment and all the stuff that's going on downtown. So I just, took a risk, and so far it's been pretty good. We got a lot of neighbors coming down on this street,
Yeah.
and I like the plans that's what's happening down here. So I just wanted to be a part of some growth and be on the beginning of the stages, and that also actually ask what we think and what we want to do, and so it's pretty cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the typical client that you see on a daily basis? I know that you have all these different sports painted up on the wall,
Yeah.
which he did himself, by the way. Love that.
Yeah. A typical client is a high school and a middle school athlete. I do some 4th and 5th graders. I kind of start around 10 years old. That's kind of like my stopping point.
Yeah.
I've had some 9-year-olds that were pretty mentally there, that can stay locked in the whole session. And then when the seasons kind of change, I get my college guys and girls coming back
Yeah.
in, and then I get some of my professional athletes. They'll drop in. I can't just rely on college and pro athletes because their
Yeah.
seasons are longer in that at school. But most of my clientele are high school and middle school athletes, so we're trying to build them up. But the key is catch them in middle school. So by the time they get to high school, by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're 10 times better, and to give them a better chance to either go to college or make their varsity squad.
Yeah.
So that's the typical. And I also do adult personal training as well. So in the morning times, that's what I spend my time with doing.
I think a lot of people wonder where these great athletes come from, and I think a lot of times this is the thing that really makes the biggest difference for
Yeah.
kids.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.